Just days before the Jordanian pilot was savagely murdered, a Japanese freelance journalist was beheaded by ISIS members.
A 2010 tweet from Kenji Goto about forgiveness went viral in the last few days. In the translation, it reads in part, "Hate is not for humans, judgment lies with God."
More than 4 years later, Goto became the latest in a series of brutal attacks by ISIS, including journalists. Our Jeff Barn, he examines why ISIS is challenging freedom of speech by targeting journalists.
This recent atrocity last weekend was committed against those who were usually armed with only a laptop or a camera.
In the war against radical Islam, journalists are sometimes extorted, and their lives are extorted, and they're used as principals in order to get money for the organizations.
Extreme jihadists are using these gruesome videos to send a clear communique to the West that if you're a Westerner fighting in a battle or possibly just covering it, you are a very enticing target.
I think the public beheadings are ISIS's way of saying to the president, Mr. Obama, you do not intimidate us.
They want Islam ruling over all the world because they are driven by a supremacist ideology.
ISIS terrorists are taking the battle for freedom of the press to the heart of Western cities and changing the worldwide landscape for the Fourth Estate.
Consequently, they really cannot report exactly what they want to report because there's too much danger, and it's understandable.
For some perspective, according to the Freedom Forum, 11 journalists died covering the First World War. 69 were killed during World War II, 62 in the jungles of Vietnam. But according to the latest numbers from the Committee to Protect Journalists, 247 were deliberately hunted down and murdered since 1995 by terrorists or those associated with them. 7 of those were beheaded on video by ISIS in the last 18 months alone.
They're the Fourth Estate. That's what keeps everything about. That's how you keep the American public informed.
It's a chilling reminder that in the modern-day coverage of global conflict, the so-called rules of engagement have clearly darkened. I'm Jeff Barn reporting.
You know, you can be a part of the discussion on ISIS. We are live streaming a town hall meeting coming up Monday, and it's called Fight for Freedom.
Now, the town hall will focus on the escalating terror threat and the impact on free speech and expression. And that meeting will begin at 6 o'clock. You can watch it all live on local15tv.com and join the conversation through social media. Just use the hashtag #YourVoice, Your Future.